Okay, let's get started. So, come to a comfortable seated position. Comfortable seated position, either your legs crossed, legs extended. You can be sitting on your knees in a hero pose or sitting on a cushion, whatever works for you now. And close your eyes. Place the hands, palms down or palms up on the knees. And just find a breath, so a natural breath that comes to you. And just begin to observe your body with the movement of the breath. Inhaling in through the nose. Exhaling out of nose or mouth. In through the nose. Exhaling out of nose or mouth. Consciously start to make those breaths deeper and stronger. So a strong, deep inhale in through the nose. And a complete exhale out of nose or mouth. Let's go for just using the nose. The eyes can stay closed. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhaling completely out of the nose. So bringing in a ujjayi breath into the practice now. We're inhaling deeply in through the nose. The stomach will expand, the whole body will expand as we inhale. And as we exhale, we draw the belly button back into the base of the spine and exhale the breath back out of the nose. Inhaling in through the nose for expansion. Exhaling out of the nose. A few more like that. Using these breaths to really bring yourself onto your mat, into your practice, into your body. Keeping that breath strong, powerful. You can hear it coming in through the nose. You can hear it leaving. And with it, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders. And flickering your eyes back open. Okay, let's go for some side bends, neck releases. Bring the left hand in line with your left hip. In line with the left hip. The fingers point away from you. Roll this left shoulder down away from the ear. So it's a side bend. And we're rolling the shoulder down away from the ear. We don't want it up here. We want it wrapped down the body. Let the left ear drop towards the left shoulder and push away with the hands. So really push into the ground so that we're not sinking into the position. We're keeping the spine nice and long, side bending. We're going to reach this right hand with an inhale up and over the body. Feel that stretch coming all the way down the right side. Let's make sure that right shoulder is also wrapped down the body. I'm going to move the shoulder down the body so the neck can fully release into this position. Let's not lose that breath. So still deep inhales, complete exhales. Keep the head and the body where it is. We're just going to move this right hand. We're going to inhale, reach it back up. Head stays where it is. And then we're going to base the palm to the floor and lower it just above the ground, about a foot off the floor. And feel that stretch in the neck deepen now. Let the jaw go. Sometimes it's nice to just move the jaw from side to side to really let it relax. Sometimes it's nice just to move the hand around to find where that sweet spot of a stretch is for you. And when you find it, just hold it there. And for the last couple of breaths in this position, we're going to drop the chin down towards the chest to open up the back of the neck. So we're still allowing That side bend, just the head drops forward, the chin drops to the chest. You're going to lift the head back to the position it was in just before. Place the hand underneath the ear and then lift the body all the way back up. Take a forward fold. Exhale everything. Forward fold, soft release in the lower back. Let the chin drop down to the chest again. Inhale, lift the body up. And let's go to the other side. So right hand in line with right hip. Start by letting that right ear drop towards the right shoulder straight away. Little bend in this right elbow so that we can push the ground away. Still find length in the spine. Both shoulders are wrapped down the body. Let's come back to that breath. And then let's reach this left hand up and over. Really feel the ribs stretching apart. And send every inhale into that area. Shoulders wrapped down away from the ears. Fingertips reaching up and over the body. Head still dropping to the left side in our side bend. Now let's reach this left hand up and over. Sorry, the head's dropping to the right side, isn't it? And then this left hand's going to hover about a foot off the floor, deepening that stretch into that big muscle in the neck. Just letting that neck release. And for the next couple of breaths, we're going to drop the chin down towards the chest, just opening up into the back of the neck a little bit. Lift the head back up so the ear drops towards the shoulder. Place this right hand underneath the right ear. Help the head up. Inhaling to come up. Exhale, forward fold. Let the body sink into this forward fold and Baddha Konasana, cobbler pose with the feet. And then we're going to slowly walk the hands into the body, lifting the body up. Extending your right leg. Extending your right leg. And bring your left leg in towards the body. So half straddle, forward fold. Keep your left foot fully flexed. And your right foot fully flexed. Take an inhale. Exhale again, take a forward fold. So keeping that right foot flexed, only go as far as your body wants to go this morning. Just checking in that you're still observing, and consciously deep inhale, full exhale. So if you can extend the collarbone forward, the collarbone extends forward in our forward folds. The head and the neck can release. We want length through the spine. Inhale to slowly walk the hands in. Lift the body up. Let's switch sides. So the left leg extends and the right foot comes in towards the body. Inhale to find length in the spine. Exhale to take a forward fold, keeping that left foot flexed. Only walk as far as you're comfortable going. You want to feel a little bit of an opening in the hips, but particularly an extension in that left hamstring. And then we're going to walk the hands in, lift the body up, and we're going to come onto our backs. We're going to do a half bridge, and then we're going to move into our ab series. So slowly roll down onto your back. Bring your feet nice and close in towards your body. We're going to push the feet into the floor to lift our hips up for half bridge. So slowly tucking the tailbone, lifting the hips up, curl them up towards the ceiling. Sometimes it feels like the shoulders are quite close to the ears, so we can roll the shoulders and the arms down the mat. Gives us a little bit more space in the upper chest to lift the ribs nice and high. The knees want to be positioned over the feet. And if you want, you can always interlace your hands underneath your body. Inhale to lift the hips up, open up in the chest. Exhale to root the feet down. It might be that in your half bridge, you're just lifting the hips to here. It might be that you come up and down in your half bridge, just to take the weight off the feet. Let's see if we can hold it for a few breaths here. Keeping the gaze up to the sky. We don't want to move our neck in this position. Back to that deep inhale, that complete exhale. Feeling the strength of the legs. The energy kicking in there. A bit of heat building up in the thighs, through the quads. The space we're offering to the front of our body. Stretch we can add by lifting the hips and the ribs upwards. Deep inhale to lift the hips, and then tuck the tailbone nice and slowly, curling the spine back down onto the floor. Feel every part of it coming down to the ground. And then let's give the knees a little squeeze into the body, just a little one. And bring the knees over the hips, the heels in line with the knees. We're going to go for elbow to knee with a bit of an extension. We're going to go through it nice and slowly. You can look at what I'm doing anytime you like, but I'll also talk you through it. Interlace your hands together and place them under the very base of your skull. Keep your feet flexed to the ceiling. We're going to take a deep inhale. We're going to hold the breath. We're going to tuck the tailbone up. As we exhale, we're going to extend the right leg 45 degrees, as straight as possible, and twist up and over towards the left-hand thigh. So we're twisting across the body. We're going to inhale, come back to center, the knees square over the hips. We hold the breath. We tuck the tailbone up, and we extend the left leg and twist up and over towards the right-hand side. So you can do any variation of this. Don't worry if you don't want to fully extend. Let's go. Take a deep inhale. Hold the breath. Tuck the tailbone up off the floor. As you exhale, you're going to extend the right leg. Twist up and over towards the left-hand thigh. That left knee wants to be as much over the left hip as it possibly can. You're looking over towards the left side of your mat. Inhale, come back to center, square the knees over the hips. Hold the breath. Tuck the tailbone up off the floor. Extend left leg, twist up and over towards right hand thigh. See if you can get those shoulder blades up off the floor. Inhale, come back to center, square the knees over the hips. Hold the breath, tuck the tailbone up off the floor. Exhale, extend left leg, flex the left heel, really point the toes up towards, well, it'll be going behind you, but flex the right foot. Now let's see if we can tap right hand towards left ankle. Inhale, come back to center, square the knees over the hips, hold the breath, tuck tailbone up off floor. Exhale, extend left leg, twist up and over towards right hand thigh. Let's see if we can tap this left hand towards the left ankle, keeping that right ankle, keeping the right knee over the right hip. Inhale, come back to center. Let's do two more. Hold the breath, tuck tailbone up off the floor. Exhale, extend right leg, twist up and over towards the left hand thigh. Let's see if that right hand can tap that left foot. Inhale, come back to center, square knees over hips. Hold breath, tuck tailbone up off floor. Exhale, extend left leg, twist up and over towards right thigh. Quick tap with the left hand to the right foot, and then place the feet back on the floor. Just give the abs a little break. Deep inhale, complete exhale. Roll over onto one side, that feels good for you, and bring yourself up to standing at the front of your mat. Standing at the front of your mat, I'm just going to grab a quick drink. So we're going to go through a little flow, a 3-part flow. We're going to see where we go with it. Bring the hips over the feet, standing at the front of our mats. Surrender the palms in front of you. Notice when you do that, the shoulders roll open. And the palms are facing forward. Deep inhale into the chest, into the stomach. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart and lift the gaze. Inhale, reach the hands up above us. And exhale, take a forward fold. When you forward fold, draw the belly button into the base of the spine. And pivoting at the hips, let the body forward fold, hands come towards the floor. So don't worry about the hands touching the floor. Keep the legs as straight as possible in our forward fold. Now you can bring the hands to the floor, taking a little bend into the knees if it helps to get there, and set that right foot back. You can always help the right foot back, drop the right knee, tuck the toes, and sink into a lunge. Anjaneyasana, left foot forward. Hands are up above us. You can point the index fingers to the ceiling and gaze up if we want enough level. We can keep the gaze forward, or we can just place the hands onto the hips. So you can pick either of those as we continue to flow through this series. This first flow is just going to be a little bit slower than the others as we get used to the positions. We're going to take a little twist. So we can always stack that left knee over the ankle just to stabilize the twist. We twist to the left side, to the left. So we can use that right hand on the outer edge of the left knee to help us get there. Just taking that twist. Roll both shoulders back behind the body. Nice opening in the chest. Now we're going to place the right hand onto the floor, just on the inside of that left foot, so just under the right shoulder. We're going to lift that right knee up and reach the left hand up above us, coming into a simple twist with the right knee lifted. Then that left hand is going to come back to the floor, framing the front foot. We're going to push the ground away. We're going to step back to a plank position. Plank position. So our body wants to be nice and parallel with the mat. The shoulders are over the wrists. The gaze is to the floor. The knees can always be down in our planks. If it's a bit much for the shoulders, it's early on in our practice. On an exhale, we're going to come down knees. And then chest as the hips go up, the elbows come in towards the body. Ashtanga Namaskara, 8-point pose. Knees, chest, chin. Hands go forward, legs go back. The elbows are lifted in a low cobra. A few breaths here, nice opening in the chest. Really rooting the hands down. The hips down, the feet down. Telescoping the ribs upwards. Rolling the shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, bring the body all the way back to the floor. Place the hands under your shoulders, tuck the toes, and come onto the knees first in tabletop, or push straight to a down facing dog. First down facing dog, just enjoy the stretch that it's offering the hamstrings and the length that we can add to the spine. Really pushing into the hands and lifting the tailbone high. Roll the shoulders around the body so they move, the shoulder blades move apart from each other. Maybe relax the neck too. We're going to step the right foot back forward. So you can always get it halfway and then help it. Or step that right foot through the body, nice and tight, close to the body, all the way forward. Right foot forward, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Maybe we can take the gaze up to the ceiling again. Using an exhale, the hands come through the heart to the floor, and we forward fold. Uttasana, forward fold at the front of your mat. Let the head and neck go, let the spine unravel. Reach forward, root down through the feet and come to standing, lifting the hands up above the head, tucking the tailbone as we do, draw the belly button in and hands come back to the heart, gaze lift. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, forward fold. So the left foot's going to step back now. Left foot back, low lunge, bring the hands up above us. Maybe the gaze is up, shoulders are rolled down. Let's take that twist, a little stack of that knee just to stabilize the twist to the right side. That left hand can just rest on the right thigh. Shoulders roll back, especially that right one, which guides the twist. The chin can just rest over the chest. We don't need to look behind us. And then simple twist, left hand to the floor on the inside of that right foot. Lift that left knee and reach the right hand up. We're gazing up to the ceiling now. Framing that front foot, both hands to the mat. Push back to plank position. Nice strong planks. Then come down through knees, chest, and chin. Hands go forward, legs reach back. Open up the body, low cobra. Telescope the ribs to the ceiling, roll the shoulders down the back. Push the hands into the mat, engage the legs. Use an exhale to come back to the floor. Hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, maybe pushing straight to down facing dog, or coming to that tabletop position first. Down facing dogs. Left foot steps forward, left foot forward, low lunge, hands back up above us. And exhale, hands through the heart to the floor, Uttasana. Forward fold at the front of the mat, feet are parallel, spine is long down towards the floor. Root the feet down every part of the foot. Keep the hips square as we reach the body forward and up to rise to standing. And exhale, hands meet back at the heart. We're going to add some stuff. Let's keep flowing. Inhale. And exhale, hands at the heart. Inhale, hands up above us. Exhale, forward fold. Draw the belly button into the base of your spine as you take a nice forward fold. Right foot steps back. You can bend into the knees to help the right foot step back to a low lunge, hands up above us. Nice twist to the left, little simple twist to the left side, warming up the spine. And then into that simple twist, right hand to the floor, right knee lifts, left hand up above us. So we're going to add a side plank here on the right side. You can drop the right knee down and spin that right foot to the right side of the mat, stepping that left foot back to come into a supported plank. Maybe you can up level and step the right foot to the end of the mat and stack that left foot on top. If you're really enjoying the practice and you want to up level again, you could take hold of your thumb with your left index finger and really push into the hand to lift the hips high, lifting that left foot up. Find something that feels good for you, and you can hold for a couple more breaths. And then bring that left hand to the floor, back to a plank. Bring the feet about hip distance apart to support yourself in your plank. And come down through knees, chest, and chin. Inhale as we open up into a low cobra. Exhale as we come back to the floor. Place the hands under the shoulders, tabletop or down, facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths in down facing dog. We're going to lift the right foot up in a three-legged dog. So taking a little bend into the elbows will really support your three-legged dog. Right leg lifts. We're going to add a nice little hip opener in here. So bend into that right knee and see if you can rotate the right hip on top of the left. Feel a real nice stretch down the whole right side of the body. It might be that your hips aren't that open and we're just working with bending the leg. Sometimes that's enough. There's a real roll of the hip as it opens up. Three-legged dog. We're going to step back to that lunge. The right foot's going to step forward. So we need to bring the hips square first. Squeeze the knee through the body. Right foot steps forward. Low lunge. Deep inhale, hands up. And exhale, take a forward fold. Front of the mat. Forward fold. Using an inhale, rise to standing. And then exhale to bring the hands back to the heart. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot steps back. Low lunge. Inhale, hands up. Little stack of the knees. Take a twist to the right. Simple twist. Left hand down. Left knee lifts. Right hand up above us. That left knee can be on the floor. Doesn't need to be lifted here. And then let's find a side plank on the left side. So maybe the knee comes down and we rotate that foot around and step the right foot back. Or maybe we're supporting ourselves on our feet. Or maybe we're taking hold of the big toe with the right index finger, maybe middle finger too, and lifting it up. Again, something we can hold for a couple more breaths. And then we roll onto the toes so we can find a plank. Wrists are back underneath the shoulders. We're parallel with the mat. And we use an exhale to come down. Knees, chest, chin. If we don't have a cat in the way. And forward legs back. Low cobra. And back to the floor. Exhaling everything. Hands under the shoulders. And push to down facing dog. Down facing dog. Couple of breaths here. So we're going to come to that three-legged dog position again. Three-legged dog. We're going to lift the left foot up. We have three-legged dog position. Dealing with a cat wanting my microphone here. So lift that left foot up, three-legged dog. And if it feels okay for us, we're going to bend into that knee and rotate that left hip up and open. Really enjoy that stretch that is offering the whole left side of the body. A little bend in the elbows, remember, will really help stabilize the position. We can relax the neck here. We don't need to look anywhere. We can just let the neck go. And then we're going to bring the hips back square so we can step that left foot forward again. Left foot forward, low lunge. Bring the hands up above us. Exhale, hands come through the heart to the floor. Take a forward fold. Forward fold, front of the mat. Let the head and neck go. Inhale, rise up to standing. And exhale, hands come back to the heart. Nice, we've got our flow. Let's flow through it a little quicker. We're going to add just one pose in at the end, a nice open lunge. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, hands meet at the heart. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, take a forward fold. Draw the belly button into the base of the spine as you float down. Right foot steps back. Anjaneyasana, low lunge, thinking forward if you like. Gazes up, back toes are tucked. Stack the left knee and take a twist to the left side. Twist to the left side to begin with. Then back to that simple twist. Right hand down, right knee lifts if you want. Left hand comes up above us. From here, we're coming into a side plank on the right side. You can just rotate onto the edge of the right foot or spin that right foot around, resting on the right knee again. Back to a plank. Shoulders back over the wrists. Breath is still strong. Deep inhales. Complete exhales. And come down, knees, chest and chin. Hands go forward, legs reach back, low cobra. Telescope the ribs up, low cobra. Exhale back to the floor. Hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes and find a down facing dog position. Down facing dog position. Right leg lifts in three-legged dog. Roll that right hip open again. And this is where we're going to add something. We're going to add a nice open lunge. We're going to step the right foot outside the right hand. Outside the right hand this time. Drop the left knee. Come onto your fingertips. So feel that difference in this right hip. Deep opening. Now we're feeling a little bit warmer. The hands are to the floor. It might be that you feel comfortable enough to lift that left knee up. Sink the hips down. And lift the heart and the gaze up. So my right foot is still fully rooted on the floor. Just outside my right hand. Place the hands back down. We're going to push back to a plank from here. Push back to a plank position. And then again, we're going to flow through. Knees down, chest down, chin down. Hands go forward, legs reach back, low cobra. Inhale. Exhale down, facing dog position. Step the right foot forward, low lunge, hands up above us. And forward fold, Uttasana, forward fold, front of your mat. Let the head and neck forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, pivoting at the hips. And exhale, gaze lifts. Hands at the heart. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, forward fold. Left side, left foot steps back. Low lunge, drop the knee, tuck the toes. Root into that right foot to find a stable Anjaneyasana or lunge. Maybe the gaze is up. Let's stack that right knee and take a twist to the right side. Simple twist. Left hand down. Left knee lifts, right hand is up above the head, and we can drop that right knee to come into a supported plank, or we can simply rotate onto the edge of that left foot and reach the right hand up. We want that left hand to be in line with the left foot. We want this left shoulder to be over the left wrist. We can come onto that left knee whenever we need. And then we're going to come back to our planks. Both hands under the shoulders, toes supporting the plank, and float down on an exhale, knees, chest, chin. Open up with an inhale, low cobra, really allowing the breath into the whole body. And back to the floor, hands under shoulders, and push to down, facing dog position. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. And then we're opening up. So we're going to roll that left hip up and open, a little bend into the left knee. Three-legged dog with hip opener. The elbows are a tiny bit bent for a bit more support. And then we're going to step this left foot outside the left hand. So it can help to shuffle the shoulders over the wrists first. It can help to bring that right knee to the floor first. We want to bring it outside the left hand. So we come into this open lunge position. At the minute, the right knee's down. And on the fingertips, maybe we can lift that right knee. And as we do, we lift the heart and we sink the hips. So we really start to get into our hips this morning. A nice hip opener. Open lunge. Back to that breath, deep inhale. Complete exhale. Bring the hands back to the floor. Push back to a plank position. And using our breath, we're going to flow back to down facing dog. Exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, open up into a low cobra. Exhale, come back to the floor and push to tabletop or straight to down facing dog position. Down facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Low lunge, hands come up above us as we inhale. And exhale, the hands come through the heart to the floor and take a forward fold. Uttasana, forward fold, feet are parallel, let the head and neck go. Forward folding at the front of your mat. Root the feet down, inhale, scoop. Scoop all the way up to standing. And exhale, tuck the tailbone, lift the gaze, bring the hands to your heart. Nice. Hope you're feeling good, a little bit warmer. Gonna keep going. Get a drink if you need to grab a drink. Keep your breath strong. Come back to the front of your mat. Surrender the palms in front of you. Take a little bend into the knees this time, just a little bend. A little tuck of the tailbone here. Maybe close the eyes. Maybe start to tune in again with your body. Shoulders can soften down away from the ears. Jaw is relaxed. Inhaling deeply in through the nose, exhaling completely out of the nose. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, we're going to straighten the legs and lift the hands up above the head. This is how we can flicker the eyes open and look up at the hands. Exhale, again, forward fold. I'm going to bring my hands wide this time and take a nice dive with my heart. Forward fold. Exhaling everything as we come down. Hands reach towards the floor. We're going to step the left foot back this time. Left foot back. And we're going to come into a warrior two position. So in our warrior two, we want to find this heel position. Right heel is in line with the left, the right knee stays over my right ankle, and my hips are open towards what's my left side of my mat. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears. And send the gaze over that right hand. Warrior two. Really root the edge of that left foot firmly into the mat. Lift the toes up off the floor or splaring in different directions, and then place them back onto the floor. So lift the toes up and then we softly place them back onto the floor. We don't want to be gripping with the toes at all. This right knee doesn't want to keep coming in. We want to encourage it to open by engaging this inner seam of the thigh. Really engage the inner thigh on the right side. A little tuck of the tailbone, still lengthen the spine. My shoulders still sit over my hips. We can keep our hands up. Warrior two. Extended warrior variation. We're going to bring the right forearm to the right thigh. And with it, we want to roll this right shoulder down away from the ear. Let that right ear drop down again. Reach the left hand up and over the body. Maybe we can send the gaze to the ceiling. Sometimes it can knock the balance. Sometimes we just want to gaze at the floor. See what feels good for you today. Warrior two extended. Keep reaching through that left hand. So we're still enjoying this nice stretch down the left side of the body. In our warrior two variation. Our shoulders are still stacked over each other. So we're not forward folding at all. Let's see if we can inhale and come back to warrior two. Exhale, settle the shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale, straighten that front leg. So we're going to come into a triangle here. My feet are set up okay, but sometimes If you feel a little hinge in this right hip, it might be that you want to bring your feet ever so slightly closer together, just for a slightly more stable triangle. We're going to reach our hands nice and wide again. We're going to keep both legs straight. We're going to lift the quads up into the body. So we really engage the thigh muscles. Inhale, reach that right hand far forward as it'll go without bending into that right knee. And then place that right hand down somewhere onto that leg. Maybe it's a thigh. Maybe it's a shin. Maybe you're comfortable going a little bit lower. If you are going lower, make sure you don't start to forward fold. We don't want to forward fold. We want to keep this nice open position in the body. Again, the gaze is lifting. It's like we're trapped between two panes of glass. So everything's stacked over each other, covering quite a small surface area. Triangle position. Anchor both hips down and feel the support of the ground. So really root both feet down and find that lift that offers. Spread the fingers wide on the left hand that's reaching up to the ceiling. And really reach through the fingertips as well. Feel that left shoulder stacking over the right. And again, let's use an inhale to lift the body back to neutral. Exhale, take a bend in that right knee. Cartwheel the hands to the floor, come onto the ball of the back foot, and then bring those hands to the floor. Push the hands into the ground, step back to plank position, and then we're coming down, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, hands forward, legs back, low cobra, nice opening in the chest, low cobra. Come back to the floor, hands under shoulders, down facing dog. Down facing dog position. Shoulders wrapped away from the ears, neck can relax. Left foot steps forward, warrior two. Left foot forward, warrior two. Find that positioning, heel to heel, and make sure you don't worry about shuffling around to get the right alignment. Shoulders are down away from the ears. I'm lifting my feet and spreading them in all different directions, and then placing them back onto the mat. Coming back to that breath that comes in and out of the body. A little tuck of the tailbone. Engagement in my inner left thigh. Left forearm to left thigh. Extended variation. Edge of my right foot roots firmly into the ground. Right hand reaches up and over my head. This left shoulder moves away from my left ear. It wraps down towards the ground. Maybe I'm looking towards the ceiling. My left palm faces up towards the ceiling too. Always returning to that breath. Feeling the distribution of the weight of my body through everything that is making contact with the floor. So not too much weight in that front left foot. Still engaging my right foot into the mat. Let's come back to neutral. Warrior two. Use an inhale to straighten that front leg. Adjust yourself accordingly if you do want to make your stance slightly shorter. Inhale, extend that left hand as far forward as possible. Exhale, floating it down, triangle position. So wherever you were on the other side, maybe come into that unless you know that one side has a certain health issue, a knee or a hip is slightly different because of an operation or anything. Just want to adjust accordingly. We're gazing up, but if that puts too much pressure on the neck, you can always take a break and gaze down. Keeping that stack as much as possible. We do not want to forward fold. in triangle. Really rooting those feet down. Inhale, come back to neutral, keeping the legs straight. Exhale, take a little bend in that left knee. Come onto the ball of the right foot so our hips face forward. Both hands come to the floor and we push back to a plank position. Strong plank, shoulders over wrists. Use an exhale to come down, 8-point pose. Knees, chest, and chin. Elbows squeeze in towards the body as we come down. Hands go forward, legs reach back. Low cobra. And back to the floor. Exhaling all the way into down facing dog. Down facing dogs. A few breaths here. In your down facing dog positions. Come onto your knees. Sit up into your heels. We've got a little apex to get into this morning. So you may or may not need your strap for this. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to come into a down facing dog. From a down facing dog, we're going to see if we can hold on to our back ankle, just like this. It's actually a lot harder than it looks. So what you might want to do is wrap your strap around your back ankle. And then hold on to the strap at whatever point your hand can reach. Once you're there, really pull yourself through. So you pull yourself through, all the way through. So you're looking up under that left armpit. So, grab your straps. We'll start on that side. So position them around the left ankle so that they're in a reachable distance from your hand. When you're there, come back to a down facing dog. Down facing dog. We're then going to pull your weight into your left hand. A little bend in this left elbow will really support the position, encouraging the muscles to kick in a little more, and not just relying on the stacking of the bones. We're then going to take this right hand and hold on to the strap, wherever feels okay for us to take a hold of that strap. We're then going to look underneath the left armpit and see if we can use the strap to pull us in that direction. So feel the chest, the heart leading through the left side of the down facing dog. Still with that breath, taking a break whenever you need. Back to neutral, place both hands on the floor. You can shuffle the strap onto the right ankle without having to come into down facing dog. You could do that. Straps around the right ankle this time. The feet are about hip distance apart in down facing dog. The hands are about shoulder distance, probably a little wider. The middle or index finger points forward towards the front of the mat, or somewhere between the two. You just don't want the hands splattering out. Fingers forward, shoulders wrapped away from the ears. Let's take this left hand and hold on to the strap where it feels okay for us. Really push into that right hand, a little bend in the elbow. We're looking through the right side of the body. Maybe we can get the head underneath the armpit and look up towards the ceiling. A nice twist that moves up the back a little. Strengthening into the shoulders, opening up in the hamstrings. Down facing dog, variation. Still observing that breath, deep inhales, complete exhales. Let's come back to a down facing dog. You can take your strap away and let's come down onto the knees, sit up into the heels. We're going to give our knees a little bit more space, a little bit more support, sorry. Knees a little bit more support. Just rolling the mat a few times, 2 or 3. I think I've got enough anyway. I'm going to come knees onto my mat. I'm going to touch my toes. There's a few options here. If you're new to a camel position, it might be that you want to place the hands onto the lower back, right on the sacrum, so that the fingers point up. Once you're there, you're going to push the heels of the hands down into the back, squeeze the elbows towards each other, and gaze up. Try not to drop your head back. Try to keep the neck lifted here. To come into a supported camel back bend. If that feels okay for you, we're going to come into a half camel. So you can either hold it here, or you can reach that left hand back to catch the left ankle and the right hand up above us. The whole time I'm encouraging the hips forward. If they do sink back, don't worry about it. Just keep trying to reach them forward, opening up in the hip flexors, creating a nice little back bend. We need to lift a little bit to come back to neutral. So lift, inhale, exhale, hands at the heart. Quick check that the knees are underneath the hips. And then let's go on to the other side. So maybe, again, you're just encouraging the back to open up, the shoulders to open. Or maybe you can come into a half camel on the right side. Right hand drops to right ankle, hips reach forward, left hand up above the body. Little lift back to neutral. Hands to the floor. Shuffle the knees back. Extend your mat. Again, I'm just going to give you a quick showing of what we're going to do. We're going to come into a child pose. And in child pose, we're going to walk the hands to one side. We're going to come back to neutral, child pose, hands extended forward. And then we're going to walk them to the other side. Okay, so bring your forehead to the floor, keeping your knees nice and close together, resting in a child pose with the hands reaching forward. On the fingertips of my hands, encourages a little bit more engagement in the shoulders, keeps the child pose active. Let's walk the hands to the left hand side. So slowly walking the hands to the left hand side. Enjoying that nice stretch in the right side of the body. Let's come back to a nice deep breath. Deep inhale in through the nose. And exhale fully out of the nose. Walking the hands back to a neutral position. Reaching out in front of us. And then let's go to the right side. So walking the hands over to the right. Enjoying that stretch down the left side of the body. And then we're going to bring the hands back again in front of us. We're going to bring the forehead to the floor. And this time we're going to reach the hands along the sides of the legs. So coming into a child pose. Don't worry if the hips are lifted a little higher here. We're working towards sitting the hips back into the heels. Close your eyes. Let the shoulders be heavy, dropping towards the floor. Let the skin between your forehead and your nose just bunch together to get an opening into the skull. Feel the expansion in the back ribs, the back heart with each inhale. And the softness as we exhale. Place the hands onto the floor, palms down, so we can push ourselves back up to a seated position. We're in a hero position here, sitting into the heels. We're going to come onto our sit bones. We're going to have a couple of minutes, a minute if you've got one, to take a little relaxation. So we're not going to do too much of a relaxation with it being the morning and with having a full day ahead of us. But if you want to stay here, you can stay here as long as you like. So we're going to come onto our backs. Grab something warm if you do want something warm, a jump or anything. If you need to grab a drink, get one now. When you're on your backs, if you're enjoying the hips being open, you could come into a reclined cobbler position with the soles of the feet together and the knees open. You could always have cushions underneath the knees or the thighs for a bit more support here. The hands can rest on the body or down the sides of the mat to really allow the shoulders to soften. The legs are extended, have the feet a little wider than the hips. And again, hands on the body somewhere or down the sides of your body. Come back to your breath. Inhaling deeply in through the nose. Exhaling out of the nose or mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. Let the ground hold the weight of your body. Just be aware of the feet. Every part of the foot. There's no need to move it, just simply observe it in our mind. The legs, the calves, the shins, the knees, the weight of the thighs, just let the hips go, let them melt open. All of the stomach, the abdominal area, the rib cage, the spine, the heart. Let the shoulders simply rest as they are. Feel the arms on the floor. The palms of your hands and your fingertips. Let your jaw fully relax. The mouth might open. Let the tongue soften. And allow that relaxation to creep up to the forehead. The spot between the eyebrows, let it soften. Allow your whole body to relax completely. The breath still naturally comes in and out of the body. Bringing your attention back to your breath. Inhaling in through the nose. Exhaling out of the nose. Conscious breathing that lifts us. We can move our fingers and our toes. When we feel ready, we can place the feet back onto the floor, one at a time. Soles of the feet onto the floor, bending into the knees. Maybe we can give the knees one at a time or both together, a little squeeze into the body and a little rock from side to side to give the lower back a little massage. Maybe circles feels good for you. And when you're ready, you're going to roll onto your right hand side and we're going to push into the floor to carefully lift ourselves back up to that Sukhasana, that comfortable seated position that we found on our sit bones or our knees. It might be nice to keep the eyes closed a little while longer. Just come back to a breath, a deep breath. Bringing the hands to the heart to honor your practice. Namaste. Thank you, guys.